The Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial in Pretoria has drawn national attention. Eyewitness News reports that the state has introduced vast photographic evidence, recalling witnesses to explain images extracted from the accused's phones. For example, on June 11, 2025, Judge Ratha granted the prosecution permission to admit extra photos of accused number 2 Bongani Ntanzi to show he once wore an O-shaped beard and hooded clothing. Despite extensive media coverage of these evidentiary developments and other courtroom controversies, no South African news outlet has reported on the specific live broadcast mistake. Coverage instead has focused on the trial's substantive issues, phone evidence, confessions, etc., and on Judge Mogodolheng's earlier controversial remarks, for which he apologized. In short, mainstream press has not yet addressed the viral image incident itself, and our searches found no article and connected sources about it. Social media reaction. In the absence of press coverage, attention has shifted to social media. Viewers of the SABC live feed immediately took to X/Twitter and Facebook to highlight the error. Many users pointed out that the person pictured was not Bongani Ntanzi. Some even shared side-by-side comparisons of known images, and they demanded explanations. Critics questioned the credibility of the broadcast. One user sarcastically asked, "Who is this then? Not our accused," reflecting anger that a man on trial was misrepresented on live TV. Others drew broader inferences, suggesting that if such an obvious blunder could happen, nothing in the trial and its televised coverage could be fully trusted. Some comments took a lighter tone, turning the moment into a meme or satire about the trial's drama. We were unable to locate news articles quoting specific posts, but the volume and tone of posts was unmistakable. As of now, neither the SABC nor the judiciary has issued a statement directly addressing the photo mix-up. SABC News has not publicly acknowledged the error or apologized on air. Within the court, Judge Ratha has not specifically mentioned this incident. Previously, he had apologized for racially charged comments in open court. The only relevant on-record remark was his own assurance that he would step aside if anyone doubted his impartiality. If you believe that I, as a judge, am so useless dumb and you think you can't get a fair trial from me, please tell me. I will recuse myself, he told lawyers during a recent hearing. That pledge of a fair trial now stands in sharp contrast to the public furor over the photo error. In effect, no formal off-the-record explanation has emerged. The official silence has left the mistake to be interpreted in public. How the mistake likely occurred. Legal analysts note that the prosecution's photo evidence is massive. The state has indicated that thousands of images were downloaded from the suspect's devices, many of which were not initially entered as exhibits. In mid-2025, the court even heard that additional photos, beyond the official exhibits, were being introduced, prompting renewed testimony. In practical terms, this means Judge Ratha and counsel have navigated a huge digital gallery of pictures during proceedings. A plausible scenario is that one of the unvetted or supplementary photos was inadvertently displayed and misidentified. For instance, if the prosecutor or police had an unnamed image of a hooded man, perhaps from Ntanzi's phone or elsewhere, it could have been loaded into the courtroom display and wrongly labeled as Ntanzi. Technical slip-ups can happen when managing thousands of files under time pressure. It is also possible, though unconfirmed, that a court clerk or lawyer simply selected the wrong photo file on a screen. In any event, given the volume of images now in play, human or software error in file handling is the most likely root cause. There is no evidence this was deliberate. Rather, it appears to be a mistake in evidence presentation. Implications for fairness and public trust. Legal experts warn that such errors carry serious implications. On one hand, the defense is likely to argue that this gaffe casts doubt on the reliability of the evidence and of the trial itself. A misidentified photo raises concerns about the court's evidentiary controls and whether Ntanzi's rights are being fully respected. On the other hand, critics say the blunder damages public confidence in the process. Criminal law expert advocate Tembeka Hadebe, speaking about the trial generally, has already warned that the proceedings have become derailed by controversy. This judge has clearly lost the plot. It's no longer about Senzo Meyiwa, she said, adding that Ratha must go. To restore the trial's credibility, Radebe later lamented that the proceedings have become a circus, and justice is nowhere in sight. Social commentators are echoing these fears, suggesting that a series of mistakes, the recent public outburst and now the photo mix-up, could irrevocably undermine faith in the verdict. If the public already views the trial as overshadowed by the presiding judge's conduct, a glaring broadcast error only reinforces the narrative that the process is flawed. In some, the incident is seen as more than a minor slip. It feeds into broader anxiety that the trial may not be conducted with the care required. Observers note that in a high-profile case, with South Africans eagerly awaiting justice for a murdered sports star, even small technical errors are magnified. For now, the primary expert commentary comes from senior lawyers like Hadebe, who use the episode to highlight dangers to fair trial and legal integrity. It remains to be seen whether the judiciary or SABC will take corrective steps, such as issuing a formal correction or apology. But already the viral misidentification has become a rallying point for critics who fear the trial's outcome may be tainted by doubt.
Where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat. To the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat. Ticking clocks and a sweat-soaked scene. Can you handle the pressure or split at the seams? Truth or dare with no retreat. The sparks fly